Welcome back. Today let's talk about making your harvest last. Today we'll explore canning, freezing, drying, fermenting, and vacuum sealing. All this talking about preserving the food. But let's first ask, why should we preserve food? Well, here's just a few of the many reasons why we can preserve food. One, it saves money. When you're preserving your food, it's going to last you longer. Your food's not going to go to waste as much. Um, we're also again we're reducing that waste because when you're saving it, you're not just throwing it out, which goes back to saving money. Emergency preparedness. So if maybe a vegetable doesn't grow for you, or we have a drought, something like that, you have food as a backup plan. And enjoying the off season. So whenever, like for example, strawberries can't grow, having like strawberry jam or having like food preserved, you are able to enjoy those even though it's not the time of the year that you're able to harvest them. So there are 5 different ways that you can preserve, and we're going to look through in this video. The first is canning. So this could be for jams, sauces, pickles. Freezing could be blanched veggies, fruit. Drying could be for herbs, jerky, fruit, leather. Fermenting could be for kraut, kombucha. Vacuum sealing for dry goods or meat. These are just 5 ways that we're going to talk about today, and just looking at what that looks like doing these different ways of preservation. Canning is one of the most classic ways to preserve food. You can use a water bath for high acid foods like jam or tomatoes, or a pressure canner for low acid items like meats and soups. It takes some equipment and care, but done right, you get long lasting, shelf stable jars full of homemade goods. Freezing is quick, easy, and a great way to preserve fresh food. Berries can be frozen whole, and veggies like green beans or corn should be blanched first to stop enzyme activity. Blanched means to let the food briefly be immersed in boiling water, especially in order to remove the skin or to prepare it for further cooking. For this, it's going to stop enzyme activity. Be sure to use freezer-safe containers and always label with the date so you can keep track of your freshness when you're freezing things. The next is going to be drying. Drying removes moisture so food won't spoil. You can use a dehydrator, a low oven, or even just an air dry herbs on a string. Dried food lasts a long time and doesn't need refrigeration. Just store in airtight jars or bags. It's great for herbs, fruits, or even jerky. Our fourth method we're going to talk about is fermenting. Fermenting is an ancient method using salt and thyme to let good bacteria grow. It works well for cabbage, cucumbers, and other veggies. No cooking is needed, and the result is tangy, flavorful, and full of healthy probiotics. Just make sure your jars stay clean and your veggies stay submerged in the brine. Our fifth and final method we are going to talk today about in preservation is vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealing takes the air out of your packaging, which keeps food fresher longer. It's ideal for dry goods like beans and rice, as well as meats or leftovers you want to freeze. It does require a sealer and special bags, but the long shelf life makes it worth it, especially when buying or preserving in bulk. So, just some easy starter projects, just kind of give you some ideas. Could be strawberry jam, frozen peppers, dried herbs, or sauerkraut. These are just some easy projects that you could start with, using things from your garden that could start your preservation journey and just teach you a little bit about each type of preservation. And finally, just a little bit of tips and safety. Make sure that you always use cleaning equipment. You don't want bacteria transferring over, because that could also just affect your preservation process and make food go bad. And it's just not sanitary to not have clean equipment. Also, always follow test recipes. Don't just try to put things together and hope it works, because certain things need certain ingredients and you just want to make sure you're doing that all right. Labeling and dating everything is really important. That's when you preserved it, and then a rough estimate of how long you think that um, it's going to last. You can look a lot of that up online for your recipe. And then finally, make sure you store properly. So store in your fridge, freezer, or pantry, whatever it is that you're preserving, whatever it needs. But that's all I have for you today in this video. I hope you learned a lot.